For all of you that like to use the term dollhouse truck, this actually applies. Welcome back to the Skilled Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. It's a first look and review, maybe not a full run because it's negative 15 Celsius today, of the new Enduro Sendero 12. And here it is right here. Look at this little guy. 12th scale, four-wheel drive, off-road trail truck. And made in the image of the larger Sendero, only 12th scale instead. Which is really adorable and cute. And 12th scale is the actual official scale of dollhouse building. So for those of you who have used the term dollhouse truck before, this really is the right scale for that scale of building. How can we best describe this? This is, I guess you could say, sort of like the baby brother of the Element Enduro Sendero, which is a great choice from Element. And I've always been a big fan of the Sendero for as long as I can remember. In fact, how long ago has it been now? I think it came out in 2018. That's right, yeah, 2018 at Proline by the Fire. And that was a good year. That was a fun one. I got to drive that truck on the rocks that weekend with a broken back. All right, anyway, back to this truck though. Lexan body, windows that you cannot see through because they are just paint underneath. I'm not doing anything to that Lexan body, so that remains the same. I'm feeling pretty good about that. It's going pretty well. We've got a much smaller size tire and wheel. These are glued on. But really, the most important stuff is what's under the body. So let's get that body off and take a look at it. Yes, it's using body clips. Not really surprised at this scale. To develop a whole clip system for something this small probably wouldn't be something that would be high on Element's list. But there is a lot of good stuff going on under here that's really worth spending some time on. Usually when you get into these smaller scale trucks, you start to make compromises. And one of the compromises that most manufacturers make is the chassis. However, Element did not do that. There is a nice steel set of flat rails here that keeps a lot of rigidity in this truck. Most of the flex is coming from that front bumper. The rest of it is pretty darn solid. It also uses a lot of plastic elements to help bridge the gap between those two steel rails. And I know they're steel because I have a magnet here which sticks to it. If you ever want to know if your chassis is steel, get a magnet. Of course, we have two locked differential axles, both straight axles. There is no portal here. There is also servo on axle, which is a bit of a bummer because I like seeing the servo up high and mounted far away from the axle for scale accuracy, but it's something that I could see that is forgivable here on this truck. We are also rocking a 380 brushed motor instead of a typical 540, and a FlySky 2-in-1 receiver / ESC combo with a ton of outputs for LED lighting should you want to add it later on. There is also a plastic battery tray here at the back of the chassis, which is actually a really decent location for it. It could probably, if I'm not mistaken, you could probably figure out a way to change that up to the front and then give yourself maybe a bit more front weight bias. Shocks are adjustable. There's a lot of different opportunities to move those shocks around and change. Actually, you could change the wheelbase slightly if you needed to. These are just plastic links on the underside, as you can see. So pretty easy to make your own links and then make this wheelbase whatever you like. Speaking of, wheelbase is, stand by, looks to be about just a tad short of 10 inches. Looks like about a 9 3/4, maybe 9.5 inch wheelbase. So it is a rather small wheelbase truck. Track width isn't going to be much wider either. It looks to be about 8 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, full 8 inches from outside of tire to outside of tire. But if you're looking at pin depth, it's probably closer to about 7 inches overall. Nice small pumpkins though, a little bit squared off along the bottom. As you can see, they're not exactly as scale accurate as probably I'd like to see, but all in all, not too shabby. Sort of like almost like a revised, smaller version of an Enduro Sendero axle. The front bumper is quite big and plasticky, but it doesn't add a ton of weight and is quite easily swapped out. It does have a couple of hex screws holding it in place, so you could change that out if you wanted to. The transmission itself is quite small, quite a compact little unit. We're going to power it up here in a second to see what kind of noise it makes. But nice oil-filled shocks. These are plastic body, plastic cap, mostly plastic, but it is a good-looking shock, and Element does make a good shock, so I expect these to not leak right away. Hex hardware throughout, which is really nice to see. And some plastic sliders here on the side. These are pretty basic, rudimentary sliders, but looks like there's some options for mounting other things in there. I'm curious what might be coming next that would be on this platform as well. A lot of people have compared this to the CR12. This is an entirely different truck from the CR12, and not something I would say easily compares. I don't think there's any carryover at all. There are metal gears in the ring and pinion for the diffs, so you are going to get a much more robust truck experience straight out of the box than you would have over the CR12. Also included, Fly Sky radio. These are pretty standard now amongst most of the Element lineup. This is pretty common. You will have seen this from just about everybody, actually. 4 AA batteries, 4-channel radio. Huh, that's nice. Is it a 4-channel receiver, though? Yes, it is. It is a 4-channel receiver, and there's also a ton of outputs. Here, you can see that right there. Tons of outputs for LEDs. So you could add a whole slew of LED lights to this ESC, and 4 channels. So that's a nice upgrade path should you want to add a winch, should you want to add just about anything else that you could think of. Lots of options there. Also, there is an adjustment here on the radio for your drag brake. So if you wanted to adjust the amount of drag brake, that's on here too. Seems like a pretty decent package. There is a 6-volt BEC in that ESC receiver combo, and it is reasonably splash/water resistant, which is good to see as well. All in all, it's a nice, tight little package. I think it's why I think this works so well and why I like it is that it does keep that transmission pretty low. It is a metal set of frame rails, and there is a ripe amount of possibilities for upgrading this Lexan body to something else. A hard body, perhaps, made out of styrene or ABS plastic, which honestly I think is the way I'm going to take this build. And I've got one maybe solution here already. This was a body built by my good friend Turks and Jerps way back when. I think it's either a Toyota Blizzard or a Daihatsu Rocky. Now, of course, it does require a bit shorter of a wheelbase adjustment here, but that won't be too difficult to do, if I'm honest. We only have to move this like an inch. I can make my own links. Anyone can make their own links. It's a very simple process. This body, for those of you who are curious, Toyota Blizzard, which was a real truck, and oh man, it does look pretty good on there. This could be a really nice solution. This body is what's made through a process called rotocasting, and rotocasting is where you make a mold and you are able to rotate that mold through 360 degrees to allow resin to kind of coat all the surfaces, and then you let the remainder drop out of the bottom, and then it cures, and then you have a body. It requires a lot of finishing. There's a lot of imperfections in the mold itself, and I'll have to cut out all these windows and everything. But yeah, this could be a cute little option for this truck. Do you like this idea, or do you like the idea of a more ready-made body, sort of like, say, the Tamiya Blackfoot? That would be a great fit for this one too. Midnight Pumpkin, perhaps, Lunchbox. There's a bunch of different hard body options out there that I think could make for a really fun project. And considering the price of entry into the Enduro 12 lineup, you really are able to spend more on the customizing and less on the truck overall. I think this could be a fun project though. If you agree, put a comment down below. You know I love reading through your feedback, and I try to answer as many of them as I can. And of course, if you're enjoying this video, hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, you're one of many that I could use. All right, let's get this off of here for a second. I'll show you what else comes in the box. Along with the truck, you do get all of these things. There's many things in here. A nice, healthy sticker sheet for such a small truck. You get all these nice white stripes that you could put on the truck. There's also a bunch of license plates that are completely customizable. A few bumper stickers, as well as 2 SBG shields, which means that I like this truck, which is true. I do. You also get a full manual here in sort of the style in which they've grown accustomed. You can see all the exploded views and all the things and some basic instructions on how to get this thing going. There's also a USB charger and a 850 milliamp hour 7.4 volt lithium ion battery with a Dean's connector. So that's enough to get you going. High performance lithium ion battery, I might add. As well as a little brochure about some of the other things that might be included in the Element or team associated lineup. So that's what you get in the box. And of course, you get a box. And inside the box is a board game. There's a whole board game in there with a spinny dial and everything. This is called Trail Runner Off-Road, and it is a board game that you can play with your friends. There's a Scale Builders Guild space there. Congratulations! You and your rig were just featured on an episode of the Scale Builders Guild. That's pretty cool. Thanks for including me in your little board game. This is fantastic. Maybe you know what? Maybe Josh and I should play this on a live stream. That would be really fun. Scale Builders Guild. Look at that. There's a street sign and everything. Street sign and everything. Very cool. All right, that's pretty neat. I like that a lot. All right, we've got it all fired up. I've set the drag brake to 75%. And once I played with the dual rate a little bit, there is a fair bit of steering in that axle. That servo is not quiet by any means, but seems powerful enough for the size of the truck. Nice slow startup on that Fly Sky ESC. And nice and quiet. Nice quiet transmission. Plenty of speed. Whoa. Plenty of speed. And seems to function pretty darn well. I think this is going to be a great little truck to build my next project on. Nice smooth power delivery for that little 380 brushed motor. Oh yeah. Nice smooth action. I like it. That's going to be great. Once it does warm up a little bit, we'll get some more actual footage of this truck. But I think this is a great place to build your next tiny short wheelbase project. It's ripe for possibilities. And I think that's what I like most about Element, is that while some of their body choices have been very strange in the past, they give you a great platform on which to build. And, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if... And we're done. There. Great. That's not bad. That actually looks pretty good too. Make some adjustments in your body posts. Get a little bit of a mounting system going on there. And no muss, no fuss, you've got a pretty cool new hard body crawler. All right, I think that's going to do it. First look and review of the new Enduro 12 from Element RC. Thank you so much to Element for sending it my way, and of course to you for watching me do this for you. We'll see you again soon.